50 movies in 50 weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set in 50 weeks. And we're just about to accomplish that goal. This is the second movie on the final disc of this set. The movie is The Last Man on Earth from the year 1960. Now, recently we just covered The Last Woman on Earth, which is a movie I've always wanted to check out. Never have for one reason or another until now. And I remember talking about in that video about like, oh, I wish it was more like The Last Man on Earth, because that's what I was expecting, because I was going into that one completely blind. And there is some similarities that I kind of forgot about, because it's been a while since I've seen The Last Man on Earth. And before I get into those, I just want to say this is not the best way to watch this movie. I would recommend not getting this, not watching The Last Man on Earth on this box set. It's one of the worst prints of it I've ever seen, and I've seen this movie a lot, especially when I was younger. But man, it's weird. The audio is super messed up. Like the mouth movements don't match up with what they're saying. The whole movie's ADR'd, which is understandable. A lot of movies are. But I had to go double check. I found an HD print on YouTube, and their mouths are perfectly synced with what they're saying in the YouTube version I checked out. The audio mix as well was significantly better in that YouTube version. Also, there's like mistakes in the editing in this version. There's a scene, and I can't remember where it is, but Vincent Price is talking to one of the infected girl, and she just stands there and looks at him, says nothing, and dialogue's happening. And then the scene cuts to black, rewinds, and plays the scene again, but with the actual line delivery. It's really weird. And I don't know how, I've never, if I have seen this messed up of a version before, I didn't know. I didn't remember, at least. But yeah, it really sucks. But the movie itself is fantastic. In fact, I've always kind of thought you could probably watch Night of the Living Dead and then The Last Man on Earth, and The Last Man on Earth could probably work as a sequel. I think it's a pretty awesome movie. I know it's not a sequel. I know Dawn of the Dead is the sequel to Night of the Living Dead. But I think this movie could work as a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. It would at least be a great double feature. It's based on a book by Richard Matheson. I should probably read the original novel at some point, because it's a classic from what I understand, and I love Richard Matheson. He's done a lot of things I really like. They've remade this a few times, and I've actually seen every adaptation of this story. I've seen The Last Man on Earth, I've seen The Omega Man, I have seen I Am Omega, and I've seen I Am Legend. And coincidentally, the movie with the actual novel title is the one that's least like the book from what I understand, because the book I know has vampires in it, and so does this particular adaptation. But I guess as time went on, they just dropped the vampire angle, which is kind of a shame. I think the vampire stuff is fun. But they don't act like vampires in this. They act more like zombies. They act like Romero-style zombies. And I think that adds a level of uniqueness to this movie. A lot of the movie is told through flashback, so you can see like what the world is 3 years into the apocalypse and the months leading up to it. And Vincent Price delivers a pretty great performance in this. There's a lot of really, really cool moments. You just see like him just being alone and isolated. I think it's one of his best movies, and it's a shame that this box set is such a poor representation of it, because despite being in the public domain, I've seen better prints of this movie my whole life, and it's just bizarre that this is the one they slapped on this box set. And this is Mill Creek's most popular 50 movie box set too. So it's kind of a shame that when I do have a movie on here that I really strongly like and recommend, I gotta say, well, don't watch it on this box set. It feels almost counterproductive. But yeah, I love this movie. Oh, and I'll go back to what I was saying about The Last Woman on Earth having a similar similar elements to this movie, because in the past video I said that they had nothing in common. They do have something in common. Blindness is a plot point in both movies. Also, they both have their climactic scenes in a church. And I seemingly just forgot that because it's been several years since I watched this movie. Fantastic movie, highly recommend. Go seek out an HD copy of it. That's it for now. I'll see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.